Eh.
More.
It's kind of like that evolution.
It's a lot of gold mines.
Right.
We're going to tap in on the gold
All
mines.
right. Here's where it's at. Here's where it's at. All right. The question that I have inside myself is, how do you desensitize people who have had to live struggling financially into taking on a quest that would require that they never have to question the capability of them being able to afford anything?
Well,
You feel what I'm saying? It's like if I all of a sudden ran up on my friends and I was like, "Yo, man, come on, let's roll. I want to take you out on a tour. You straight? Well, what am I gonna do? Don't worry about it. What is it? Don't worry about it.
that guy, you don't need him though,
No, no,
man.
no, no, no. If I say,
Hey, come on, let's
now feel what
go.
I'm saying. Work with me on this one. Work with me. Just look at it from my perspective.
Okay.
If I was to say, this is what I want, even if they don't want to be there, I don't care. Go get them. You feel what I'm saying?
You said what now?
Even if I was to say, I don't care if they don't want to go or not, go get them. You feel what I'm saying? Where it's like, hey, our feast is called for you and he's going to give you an offer you can't refuse. Well, I need to, I got to take care of my kids. It's done. I need to pay off the house. It's done. It's done. Come on, man. We want you right now. Do you mean it's done? I mean, like, come on, man. I mean, I'll wait until I want to see what you mean by it's done. I don't want y'all look, it's done. All of the preparations are the things that you need to do. They'll take care of. If you're in Istanbul next week, believe me, there's no way that you'll be able to actually, figure that you're not going to be capable of having all of your minuscule problems. I've been really chiseling my life out to actually have a net worth or a debt of almost zero. I mean, at best, no one could actually hold me for more than 2 grand, three max, total. You see what I'm saying? Where my net worth would only be, for collectors' reasons more so than actual net worth. You see what I'm saying? I'm liquidly actually, just at zero. It's perfect. So if in
So
at
we
any
start at zero.
so if at any given so check this out. So if at any given time I actually escalate my image to the standard of like 300 million something or another or whatever, I still require that I would still rather keep everything in my environment at the same mentality of where we're at in our ghetto fabulousness, then how a lot of these rappers would all of a sudden get up and next thing you know
That's
they
the only
can't.
thing you can't keep.
Right, and then all of a sudden they can't talk about the streets no more because everything's got to be about my Bentley or my ice or this, that, and the other. You want to keep it real, but you can't stop talking about your Bentley or your ice. Well, this
Those
is
are those fake cats, man. Those cats don't even have a damn clue about life.
well, the reason why a lot of those people don't have it like that is because we're the missing link. And really, honestly, if they knew that we were out there better, we would be running that. Most of those people have been people who really honestly wanted to talk to us when we actually were doing a gig and going, hey, I could help you with that. But they're going, you just a stagehand, dog. Now we're at another level in our life. And the planets are honestly about to do something that nobody can control.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? And too many people are are missing that point enough to really honestly start seeing this is your one shot. You see what I'm saying?
Right, but
In in
you
a
got a lot of shots
26
now.
in a
Yeah.
26,000 year evolution.
I feel where you're going
You
to.
feel what I'm saying? And a lot of us are still playing with, come on, man. That sounds like a little bit too much work. And it sounds like I need to engulf my life into a whole lot of other things for more than myself. And that just don't sound fair.
Right.
And I'm sitting there and I'm going, man, nothing can explain how it feels to actually start realizing that not only you predestined, but even in your poverty, you see what I'm saying? You're
It's
you're
not in property, really.
even when you're in your poverty, you're so impoverished that you're more than nigger rich when you just want to just
Because we lack finances.
right.
In poverty, you know that our people we so damn blessed, dude. We ain't no
Right.
close to
And
poverty.
the thing here is, but at the same time,
Well, you can't
uh,
pull $50 out of your pocket right now and
it's
still ain't in poverty.
okay. Here's where I'm at. I've had several friends that would come back and all of a sudden friend me on Facebook and be like, "Yo, man, uh, why don't you spend no more? Why don't you do this?" And I say, because back in that day, we existed by a supportive crew.
Right.
And so at a point when all of a sudden all of my crew became DJs too, then I got to the point where I was like, I'm not going to do a party for $50 and I got to carry 4 crates of records and all this equipment and
Right.
everything else, and nobody else is going to be there to help me or even give me a ride.
I know. I
You
feel
feel what
you.
I'm saying? And now here it is that as a whole lot of people have now gone on and transpired in their life where the last thing that they're thinking about is trying to become a rock star again. You see what I'm saying? And then all of a sudden, here comes their old buddy, their old pal, Hafiz. And while they still have a certain attachment to that, they still have to live a reality that they would be the last people to expect for me to not forget not one person on my friends list. You feel what I'm saying? But it would also require, hey, but I'm not going to give you no fish. We about to go not only fishing, but we're about to go into the seafood market.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? We
Oh
want,
yeah.
we're about to make a new but the thing is that it's my all right, here's my problem. My problem is when my aunt put that first perm in my hair and then whispered in my ear, "Baby, don't you want to be a preacher?" As much as I wanted to say yes, it took me until where I'm at today to really understand, well, uh, I never thought that I would actually understand the plight of Eddie Long when I realized that as much as he would like to explain why he's how he is and how that in his faith is fully accessible with consent. You know what I'm saying? And he didn't leave nobody in no gutters. You see what I'm saying? And he's following God's rule because he's a part of a infrastructure that has outlasted its need its importance. Do you understand what I'm saying? I mean, most of us are converted to some form of Islam just because we can't follow that
Huh?
yeah, that suffering and death theory.
So what?
You see what I'm saying? Uh,
You say that what? We go to Islam because we can't do what?
because we can't support that suffering and death theory.
No, it's not what.
Do you understand what I'm saying by that?
No. You know why? Because
Islam has got a more romantic faith. Do you
well,
understand what I'm saying?
just
The structure of what we call Christianity is actually kind of structured in a kind of suffering and death kind of theory.
I would say what the theory really,
You see what I'm saying?
because I would say it's too damn mystery. When you can't figure out mysteries, man,
Well, when it can't really honestly help you in your upper elevated life. I mean, it's one thing to teach you the elementary things, but what do you do when all of a sudden you're married and your kids are grown and you need to know what's a sin and what's not when you've got more air and opportunity to live your life? Why is it that most American people have a difficulty going abroad and actually befriending people like you're supposed to do as a traveler? Oh, they too freaky. Man, shit. All of a sudden, you get out there in Ireland somewhere, and next thing you know, they want to go swapping. Hell no. And then you realize, well, then you're not deep enough in your upbringing. But then, that's half of the default of Americans. Because Americans of color have got a secondary conditioning or
That's
education.
full of bullshit. That's what
You
it
feel what I'm
is.
saying?
That's
And and they're trying to justify, some outdated books at a time when all of this is now outdated. We are in the new world order. The age of Aquarius is happening. The planets are doing things and we cannot stop any of it.
right.
You feel what I'm saying? In the meantime, we all want to sit back there and go la 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 la. We don't understand what you're saying. Blah blah blah. This that and the other, and that's just because we're spoiled Americans and we're allowed to do that because that's
Right.
big business. Even
But
though
it's
we
not
want
good
to,
always to be spoiled, man.
right? No, to be ignorant, to be allowed to just fall
It's
into the
not
side
ignorance when your
and
ass is
not be.
spoiled because you don't know shit. Basically, you got too many
You
handouts.
don't want to know because if you know, then you have to defend what you know.
That's right.
And we have been conditioned to actually be threatened with the image of ignorance, and that's just
Right.
fine. We hid up under that when we knew better than the master, and now we can't stop it because can't nobody tell nobody else, this next generation, oh, we just did that to try to fool them. We were never this kind of. Nobody's living for an evolution. We all cried for Obama one time, and now there's more of us that are ready to doggone find anybody else but him. As if, hell, we've even forgotten how to celebrate a Martin Luther King Day, and Martin Luther King would still be shouting over Obama being there. You understand what I'm saying? But what's missing
That
is just what Obama said. What's missing are the other people that were born in the same time frame that bore him, and that's us. I'm 2 years younger than the president of the United States.
really how
I'm twice removed connected to him just because my daddy's best friend taught him some of what he know. You feel what I'm saying? But you and I and all of us really have just as much of a duty to actually be more of the support, and none of us are really honestly. Uh,
I had a dream before he became president where basically when he met me he says, "You're the one I've been looking for, you're the one I've
right,
been hearing about." As far as
right,
this audio. Shit, man.
right.
God shared that vision with me. See what I'm saying?
Yeah,
You feel me?
yeah.
You know what I'm talking about. You know,
But you
I know what
know,
see.
you know, it's really
That was
scary.
it phase me. I already know who I am. I know who I'm gonna be, but I can't stop it. Can't
Right.
nobody else stop it.
Well,
I'm
that's
unconditional.
true in theory only from emotional state. And that's what I'm kind of saying. You have to now play your own devil's advocate. You see what I'm saying? And you have to realize, actually, I'm a sleeper. You are a sleeper. You are overly blessed and sparing a lot of people just for not standing out and taking. You see what I'm saying? Just because you've been humble like I've been humble. And now it's come to a point where that trumpet is going to start sounding more often. You feel it already.
Oh yeah, I already
You
know.
feel what I'm saying? The hardest thing is, but what it's kind of like that Lord of the Rings shit. When motherfuckers say just go, and you go where? When you get there, you'll know. You know,
Oh right, right. Oh, I know.
right? And you're sitting there going, "Oh man, that's a setup." You
I
know,
understand. Well,
you
yeah.
just want me to just walk. Damn.
You gotta go do it. You gotta do that to make the next phase in life or make the next thing come unveiled to you or to get you to the next era,
Yeah,
to the next level where God wants you to be. Oh, I know, man.
yeah.
Like, I can feel you. I feel you on that one, man.
I'm feeling it too.